It's budget time for Quesnel City Council. Each year we have to put together a budget that then determines the taxation levels for our property ratepayers. We are just in the process of working on our operating budget, but we've now approved our capital budget. So in the past, we used to do our operating budget first. That's the budget for all of the services that we deliver, all of the programs, and general maintenance and upkeep of the city buildings and sidewalks and roads. The other part of our budget is the capital budget, and that's all our major investments. In the past, it used to be we would do the operating budget first and then not start the capital budget until February, March, and not approve it until early spring. When I became mayor, I took a look at that and realized that that actually cost ratepayers some pretty significant dollars at times, especially if we had large contractor projects, because by approving the capital budget late, two things happened. One, any of the projects we were putting out to tender went late into the tendering process. When contractors are busy and their time is in high demand, they actually increased the prices that they would put in for a tendered contract. So we needed to bid early. You know, January is good, December is even better. So that was one thing. The second is we have a very short build season here for roads and sidewalks and the kinds of infrastructure that we do as a city. And by delaying the approval of the capital budget, we ended up in a situation where we would then have to get the projects ready to tender or get the projects ready for our crews to work on, which meant we missed the early part of the build season. So the council now approves the capital budget first, hopefully by January. That allows us to tender early and get better price, and allows us to prepare projects that the minute the snow and the frost is gone, we can get that work done. And that's why you see earlier projects, earlier sidewalk and road projects in the community and earlier build projects in general. So the capital projects that we have for this year are pretty substantial. It's a $12.4 million capital budget this year. That $12.4 million is predominantly from reserves. So we save over time for most of our major projects. Of that $12.4 million, the lion's share of that is going into standard projects in sewer upgrades, water upgrades, storm drain system upgrades, road rebuilds. The 600 block of McLean will be rebuilt this year. And as an example, that one block alone costs $300,000 to rebuild it. There will be road repaving program as well as general upgrades around the community for sidewalks, crosswalks, things like that. Of that $12.4 million, about $4.5 million are what we call strategic projects. And of that $4.5 million, almost $4 million of that is from grant money. So we stretch our dollars by having good projects that granting agencies, federal, provincial government, Northern Trust, and then provide us with the funding. And to get that kind of leverage on $4.5 million, $4 million coming from other levels of government and other granting agencies shows that council knows how to do that, knows how to prepare projects, and knows how to get those projects accepted by those granting agencies. You're going to see a lot of strategic investments in our community this year if we get all of those grants. The footbridge is going to be refreshed and upgraded so that we can use it as a hosting venue, and it's a safer venue for people moving back and forth. We're going to be lighting portions of the Riverfront Trail to extend the safety of that trail and its use in the evenings, especially during the winter and the fall. And we're going to be taking a look at putting an RV campground in on Quesnel River, more trail extensions, West Fraser Timber Park in particular. And then we're making some changes to Shirawi House and some of the other investments that we want to make to finish the gold pan and so on. All of that is part of our transition strategy. And that's the reason we're good at getting the grants, is because we have a plan, we have a vision, we have projects ready to go, and we have some reserve cash to be able to make those projects happen, because often we will only get 80 cents on the dollar, or at most 90 cents on the dollar. We have to contribute our own money to that. So you have a council that is doing all that it can to stretch your tax dollars to make the strategic investments in our community, as well as continue to maintain all of our core infrastructure in the community and make sure that Quesnel presents itself as a modern, fun, interesting place to live with good infrastructure that we can offer to residents and to developers as well. Please take a look at the capital budget. It's available to you online. And the next part of our budget coming up will be our operating budget. There will be a special council meeting for that operating budget, and the date and time is available to you as part of this video.